there. And all of our amazing patients are here. Welcome. How's everyone feeling today? Fine? Excited? I'm just going to turn down our... Welcome to Scott Neo, everybody. All right, I'm just going to turn that down. Thank you all so much for taking the time out today to come and visit us and to celebrate with us. This has been the fastest turnaround on the 1st of December that we've ever done as a team. So, here's the start to December. On behalf of all of my team, I'd like to welcome you to the clinic. It's great to see so many existing faces and looking younger, if I may add, and fresher and healthier, most importantly. Also great to welcome so many new faces to the clinic as well. So welcome, and we really look forward to being part of your journey. I would also like to say a big shout out to everybody that's watching virtually. This is the first time we've actually done a virtual Instagram as well as a virtual Zoom. So for those of you out there, welcome to the clinic. We are so excited today because we're 7.5 years into the clinic. I'm the medical director. My name is Ms. Sharina Balaratnam. And I'm just blown away because I come from a background of reconstructive plastic surgery, and I never would have thought in my life that I'd be stood in a beautiful place like Beaconsfield, wearing a red suit, certainly not wearing heels like I would normally do, in a pair of trainers, and celebrating Christmas in a non-surgical way. I've been a doctor for 24 years, and I just thought I was going to leave the NHS as a surgeon, but here I am. Life changes very quickly. So 24 years later, the one thing I always wanted to do is practice medicine, look after patients. When I left the NHS, my parents said the one thing to me: make sure you continue to do that, which is to practice medicine every single day. So I hope for those of you who are our patients, you feel that. The one thing that fascinates me about our new profession and new career is continuous science, the evolution, the stuff that it's not just beauty, it's not just a gimmick. These are real technologies, real devices with real science, with real data, publications, peer-reviewed journals. These are scientifically led, they're FDA cleared, they're the highest level of regulation. And I never thought that we would see exactly that in this new world, because I was cynical and I came into it with a healthy level of cynicism. Right, Gabriele?
Yes, absolutely.
Healthy level of cynicism. And it's nice to be proved wrong, that there's actually quality stuff out there, not just luxury and premium. We've kind of maybe made it that way, but there's quality research going on in the treatments that we have. So here in my new practice, I specialize in everything non-invasive for the skin, face, the scalp, and now the body. The interesting thing about the body revitalization is it's really, really taken my research by storm. We've not just seen treatments that melt fat or burn fat. We've now seen treatments that can actually target one layer that we've never been able to target before, and that's the muscle. Now, we always think perky bottoms and we always think flat six-pack tums, but have we actually thought about how we naturally age as humans for the long term? We just need to look at Sir Tom. We just need to look at our grandparents and actually see they're actually lasting longer than our previous grandparents, who used to probably not make it past their 50s or 60s sometimes. Everyone's living longer into their 90s. And hopefully, these guys will probably live longer than me. And how are we going to live as long as we can, for as best as we can, if we don't invest in it now, in our 40s and 50s, and probably even younger? So we've got to do things so that we can last as long as we can, as best as we can. From topical skincare, from our lymphatics, because we're different now post-COVID. And now we can actually finally, for the first time, target the muscle. Because just like collagen, elastin, hyaluronic acid, which are the proteins and sugars in our face, we also have skeletal muscle that makes up the most of us in our bodies, in our buttocks, as well as our facial muscles. But we've never been able to not just contract the muscle, we've never been able to build more muscle in the face until now. Many of you are familiar with our M-Sculpt technologies. We've had it in the clinic now for 4.5 years. From the original M-Sculpt to M-Sculpt Neo, we already know that it works. From contracting the muscle primarily, as well as getting new muscle fibers in up to 90 days. We can now build 30% more muscle fibers in just 90 days. That's history, that's legacy, and that's permanent. So we're really excited now. For the first time, M-Sculpt and M-Sculpt Neo has evolved for facial revitalization to target the muscles of facial elevation in the forehead, muscles of facial elevation in the cheek and the cheekbones, because we get tired too in the upper facial muscles. I remember years ago speaking to a lady, and she said, Dr. Sharina, I'm exhausted. And I said, why are you exhausted? She said, because I've spent the whole day smiling to keep my cheeks up. so I don't have bitchy resting face. And I remember at the time being 26 going, that sounds really peculiar. But now, many years later, I feel like I'm doing exactly the same. So at the end of the day, I'm knackered too, facially. Anyone agreeing? Everyone's nodding. I hope those of you out there are probably nodding too. So finally, we get to a point where we can actually contract the cheekbones, not just internally ourselves, but using technology to contract and regenerate the muscle. 30% more fibers, 30% more muscle tone. But we're talking about resting muscle tone. That is a permanently new generation that will continue to age later. So I'm excited that we're launching EMFACE today, first clinic outside London, one of the first few on the planet outside of the USA, with Gabriele and with Natalie again from the BTL team. This is a company that's been around for at least 25 years. There's a huge amount of science and legacy with it, and we're excited to share that with you today. This event's designed for you and for you. So for those of you who have any questions, please do fire away there. We'll get to you. And for those of you here, we're treating everybody to a live treatment demonstration today. Does anyone have any questions at all before we kickstart? No? Everyone's good? For those of you who actually want to try the treatment, and for those of you out there as well, we do have an opportunity today as a one-off only for a select few patients. We've reduced the fee from £750 per treatment to £350. For those of you who might just want to experience what it might feel like. Rafia is going to hand out to you some of the special offers that we have today. So if you hand them out to everybody, Rafia. So what we've done, we've looked at EMFACE, which has been recognized as a series of 4 treatments. We roughly do them 1 a week, but you can make the program tighter as well. So it's 4 sessions, back to back. We can do them every few days, or maybe once a week, and it's completely non-invasive. I had mine on Friday. I still feel tighter with no downtime. We've also included 2 complementary sessions, one which you can have at month 6, one which you can have at month 12. And so that should last you throughout the whole of 2023, which is pretty much a year-long program. We've added in some skincare today worth £100. So there's a beautiful kit that my team have packaged together, as well as some nutraceuticals. Because think about it, in order for you to grow muscle, you need to put something into it. And nutrition and resistance training, which you're getting in there, is part of the package. So we've put together one of our nutraceuticals for you to take during one of the courses of the month. All right, so have that every single day as well. So without any further delay, I'd love to welcome you again to the clinic. We're so excited to be launching this for the first time. The offers are available until the 24th of this month, and the treatment will then go back to its normal value of £3,500 for the 4 sessions. All right, so you're getting a huge saving of up to £2,100 plus today. So I have Sana over there as well. She's going to be leading the team as well. So if any of you have any questions about the direction of flow, please do ask Sana. And then I have Rafia here. I have Zebanisa, who's doing before and after pictures in the room of all of our patients who are demoing today. I have Cheryl Marshall-Williams, who's assisting me. Jonathan there, who's part also of our team. And then I have the rest of the girls. So thank you so much, everyone. Please come through into the next room and join me. And I look forward to sharing this wonderful new treatment to you. And for those of you out there on the Zoom, please come through. Okay? Come with me. Yes. The black cable, that one. How are you doing?
Yeah, good.
Oh, we're at 100. How are you doing, Amy?
I'm doing really, really good.
She's doing really good. Everybody come around. You want to get really close for this one. Up close and personal. Amy doesn't mind at all. At all. Come on in, Giannina. You're all good. Sarah, can you see from there? Yes. Come on in, Julie. Go for it. Yes. Do come in, Zabi. Yes, absolutely. So everybody, welcome to our first live patient for today. This is Amy. This is the first time she's having the treatment. Amy's had Scott before. So it'll be really interesting to get a feedback very shortly on how this feels like finally for the first time on the face. So this has never been done before, actually having a muscle regeneration treatment being applied to upper facial muscles. When we think about what happens to us when we age, let's just think about the whole toxin analogy, botulinum toxin injections. What we're trying to do as women, we're predominantly women in here, is keep our brows up, right? But think about what naturally happens to us as we age, with skin losing elasticity, fat being lost in our faces, and then we've got muscle, that third layer down, that's also losing its tone. Then we got deep fat, and then finally we have our bone, our skeletal structure. All of those layers are just taking a little bit off, loss of elasticity, deflation, loss of tone, and also bony decay. That's just normal. And it's happening 1% every year beyond a certain period of our life, 25 to 35. So if you think of our brows starting to go down, most people come to me and say, can you do some Botox and raise it? How's that possible? Because Botox or botulinum toxin injections, they're muscle relaxant, right? Now think about the cheek muscles. How do we lift the cheeks? We use facial fillers, and we do a pretty good job. But there comes to a point where, as you know, there's a tipping point, right? We don't want to overfill our patients' faces. They will look out of proportion. So then finally we have something like this, finally, for the first time. We have something to contract the upper facial muscles. So that frontalis muscle is doing this. Desirable, right? We want that effect. So it's targeting this muscle group. This is the first pad. What I find fascinating, it's not just contracting muscle. The reason she's comfortable?
Yeah, very comfortable.
Is because they've fused two technologies together. So you've got radio frequency. We use radio frequency every day here as a non-invasive energy device to stimulate collagen in the skin. It feels warm. It's tightening at the same time. But more importantly, it's delivering heat into the muscle. So it's almost like done a little workout, that muscle. It's warmed up. So it's sending through all of these heat shock proteins to grow. So when we think about resistance training and cardiovascular training, that's exactly what's going on here, thousands and thousands of contractions later. Take then the cheek muscles. We've got 5 elevators of the lip corners, and they do this, right? We all recognize those facial expressions like that. We don't want to contract that one because we don't want to walk around like this forever, but we certainly want to contract these ones, right? It's a selected targeting of what we call the zygomaticus major and minor muscles is so exquisite because that way we're pulling the cheeks up and out. That's exactly where you want to be at. There's a point here called the point of beautification, the highest point of projection. So when that light hits you like a flash, bang, that's the point that we want to hit. That's what it's doing now here. There's another muscle, which I refer to as the Wallace and Gromit muscle, which is that one, right? Everybody knows that one. It's called the risorius. And that's what's going on in the lower portion of the face here. So when you put it all together, you're getting an outward and upward elevation of the face. So guess what? It's that restoration of what we call the facial triangle. Does that make sense, everybody? So there have been some very precise targeting of muscle groups here. Forehead elevation. We've also got up and out, the lateral vectors. So think about the plastic surgeon. What is she or he doing? He's wanting to make the face go up and out, right? The scars are always tucked either behind the line or right in front of the ear. So that's exactly pretty much the direction of flow that's going on here, up and out. Anyone have any questions on the anatomy at all? Because they haven't just slapped it on the face without any careful consideration of the muscles. Pretty clear? Yes? Excellent. Then it comes to the actual procedure as well. Do we make it comfortable for the patient? She's not flinching, she's not jumping. How do you feel, Amy?
It's really comfortable.
Really comfortable.
Yeah, the warmth. The forehead, it feels a bit like a massage. It's actually quite enjoyable.
Enjoyable. So the next series will be the massage chair, to make the patient really, really, so we need to evolve. Sana, make a note of that, okay? But it's important. We want our patients to be comfortable. We want you to be comfortable because there's nothing worse of you going, flinching to get a desired result. So this comes with the refinement of the technology. A company like BTL, who have put some thought not just into the precision on the science, the research, the data. We've had Emsculpt upstairs for 4.5 years. It came with 7 clinical publications. That is a lot. We then had Emsculpt Neo, and by the time we got that, there was 36 to 39 publications, and that's a lot. So obviously the evolution of this is an absolute no-brainer. But how do you make something so thin with 2 technologies actually playing in the sandpit well together? That's just beautiful. That's just beautiful innovation. So I want each and every one of you to just walk through with Amy, because when you're close, you can actually see her contractions. So do have a look around. Okay. And I'm going to sit Amy up a little bit, actually. Maybe that might be better. Can you manage, Amy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah? Okay. Don't worry about that. Does anyone see the forehead going up now? Yeah, you saw that? Okay. And the cheek will go up in just a second. It's twitching a little.
It's really subtle. It's like a rippling effect.
It's a ripple.
Yeah.
So different people will contract very differently, and you'll find that. When Cheryl treated me the other day, my face was all over the place. So if you want to watch that, it's highly amusing, if I may add. And I'm not embarrassed at all. I'm very happy with the effect and the result. It's all available on my Instagram page, which is the S-Thetics_Clinic page, or at Miss Ballaratnam page, for those of you out there who would like to watch my video. Okay, anyone see that from where you are? And come a little closer, guys.
Does it go up in level? You go higher, or is it just one level?
We're on 100%, Debbie. Yeah, so we're on 100%. So next you're going to see Zan, and she may have a different level of contraction. Any thoughts, Gabriele?
Yeah, I mean, look, everything you said was absolutely perfect, and this is something truly special, because to be able to bring everything we learned from, you know, the Emscott Neo in the body and bring that into the face, and have something with two technologies that can improve the density and quality of the muscle.
Yes.
And then also at the same time work on collagen formation with the area frequency. So really, really amazing. And the results we've had from the US so far have been unbelievable. So really excited about this technology, and really excited about the results that Sharina will bring, and all of the ongoing research. I think at the moment still we just sort of hit the surface of what this machine can do. I think there's so much more to come, and I think what's really special about this is prevention is always better than the cure. So if you can, and like Sharina always says, if you can sort of, you know, improve the wellness of your facial muscles, if you can improve, you know, your collagen levels in your skin, and then obviously maintain that, then that will keep you healthier throughout your whole life, and, you know, keep you.
What the body treatments feel like, and then obviously here's the face treatment. And for those of you who actually think the technology stops there, we also now treat the pelvic floor. Now, we always think pelvic floor, that's just for girls, or pelvic floor, that's only if you have a problem, such as stress incontinence. But the thing is, everyone has a pelvic floor, and everyone has muscle there, and we're all going to lose muscle tone as well as muscle volume in the pelvic area. And that's my reason for bringing it in, because it's actually a treatment for everybody. Why wait till we're in our 60s or 70s or 80s to suddenly think, oh shucks, I've got a problem, with or without having children, right, Gabriele? And this is one with the men too.
I completely agree. I've had the M-Stellar course, and from my point of view, you know, there's so many reasons why you should have it, but definitely why wait until you get, you know, to a problem to have to improve your pelvic floor muscles. And, you know, we all know that Kegels can be quite difficult to perform, so it's quite a difficult muscle to engage. So what this will actually do is strengthen that muscle above and beyond what you could do naturally, and yeah, and obviously help keep it strong throughout the years to come. And it's just as important for men as it is women, absolutely, because as we age, both men and women, muscle will shrink, it will get weaker, and this will help keep your pelvic floor, which is a key muscle for your health, for your core, help keep it as strong as possible for as long as possible. So I think it's an incredible thing, and I think it's just so much more than just, you know, a treatment. It's actually something that can actually, you know, change people's lives, and also prevent, you know, any kind of problem happening in the future as well. Even if there wasn't, it will keep you feeling more supported throughout your whole life, and right now as well. So for me, the M-Stellar is truly special, as all of our technologies, and obviously with our technology, with BTL, everything that we try and promote is wellness, both within and out as well. So
great. So Amy's got 3 minutes left. How are you feeling, Amy?
Yeah, very relaxed.
Yes.
Yeah, super comfortable.
Describe, Amy.
It's the warmth is really relaxing, quite therapeutic, and like I say, the sensation is just this rippling. So it's not, there's no discomfort at all.
No discomfort. So no pain, no downtime. All the clinical publications have showed that as well. Patient selection is key. So we do need to take a medical history. We need to go through your questionnaire. Cheryl Marshall-Williams has done that with Amy. We've also done photography, because you want to see your results. We want to be able to quantify them for you. So we never just want to do a treatment. We want to be able to say, how does this look like at 4 weeks? How does this look like at 3 months, when you finally had that time to regenerate? So photography is key. So we will bring everyone back after their 4 sessions, and again at 90 days to check the results out with and for them. And then finally, how long is it going to last for? That's the million-dollar question. Everyone's nodding. How long is it going to last for? And the answer is, you've actually made something new. You've actually made something different. So you've changed the way in which you're going to age forever, in my opinion. So if you think about the amount of muscle tone that's now resting that you've built, that will continue to increase because we have a graph that actually shows that up to about a year, you can regenerate new muscle fibers within you. And then those new fibers will continue to age, but in a different trajectory. So it's just like if you went to the gym for 90 days and you put in your room, you're going to look and feel different, aren't you? Same again with the face. And then we maintain. And I feel that we're going to be maintaining our patients on a 6-monthly basis for this one, because it's a strong treatment. And only when you feel it, you'll understand it. Yeah, about 6 monthly.
I'd say about that, yeah. I think obviously, like Sharina said, in the perfect way, what you've achieved from this is something you almost like set.
47
you've
seconds.
you've improved your facial muscles and improved your facial health. So once you've got to that level, then it's about maintaining that in the way that I'm sure that you will do. And then I'd say, yeah, sort of 6 months later, a top up is sort of like the perfect time to do it, because it is a very powerful.
Those layers we talked about: skin, topical therapy, fat, maybe some facial injectables. This is the skeletal muscle, so you can even have it as a standalone, or it slides.
The most effective.
Sure.
I was just wondering exactly what, I won't name the name of
Sure.
the system I'm talking about, but
Yes.
what sets this absolutely apart from
Okay.
So
what I'm asking?
So the question to everyone out there was, what do other salons have in their spaces in terms of these types of treatments to improve?
It's what makes this better than what they offer.
Okay.
Because
So
they do have them.
they do have them. So my answer to that is, there's a difference between what a salon might have and possibly what a clinic might have. So when you work in a clinical setting, I will only look for medical grade technology. So I will look for superiority in research, publications, peer-reviewed data. I would look for biopsy studies, especially like with the M-Sculpt generation of technologies we have upstairs. And there's actually been nothing out there to actually regenerate facial muscles ever. There are high-intensity focused type devices, but they don't have this kind of peer-reviewed publications at all. So nothing's ever been made like it. There are electrical stimulation devices as well, but that's pretty much all they do. You get a contraction, but there's nothing that's actually going to regenerate a resting tone of that muscle group, full stop. So in terms of, I don't want to say competitor products, there is actually nothing else that does it to this quality, this level, standard, and to peer-reviewed publications. Does that make sense? Because it's the world's first that's ever been created, so we're very lucky to have it.
Absolutely, yeah. Of course, there's many other machines, facial treatments, there has been for years, but this is something very new. And I think the difference is that we are achieving that complete, let's say, strengthening of the facial muscles while using radio frequency at the same time. But everything that Sharina mentioned about all of our medical efficacy, research, peer-reviewed studies, everything that's gone into this machine, this is
that's your cheek applicator. That's it.
Let's say medically proven and researched facial machines ever be released. On top of the fact that we're using synchronized radio frequency with muscle strengthening, which
yes. So that's a really great point. There's a synchrony of two technologies put into one. So you're not just getting one treatment. So some of the other devices, and I've had that treatment before, I think what you're talking about, where your muscles feel like they're dancing around your face, right? Especially around the teeth area. Yeah, so you do get that quick fix, but then that's pretty much about it, really. So I believe in stimulating the muscle. I love those kind of treatments, but now I've got something that's going to benefit me from a longer term regeneration. So big pinch of your skin, Amy.
Yeah, my cheeks are definitely somewhere they weren't when I started.
How do you feel?
How do you feel?
Genuinely, I came in, I was saying I was feeling quite tired. I had a restless night with one of my children. So this, I just feel, the eyes are open.
Eyes are open.
Cheeks are lifted and plump. They look it. Do they? Well, that's good.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
It does look lovely.
Yes.
That's like 20 minutes.
Now, cheeks have definitely gone up. I mean, Amy's got beautiful cheekbones already. However, I can see you've definitely got an elevation there.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. Cheryl and I had treatments last week, and we were saying it's actually a feeling that you get. You just feel like things are up, and you feel like your brows are up there as well. Yes. Excellent.
You were in there.
You saw me earlier, didn't you?
You actually looked
That's
very.
you've
You
seen
were
the
actually.
before and after. Like, absolutely.
Thanks,
Oh, that's
Amy.
different.
Fantastic. Thanks, Amy. But guys, please chat to Amy about the experience, and we're going to have Zan next jumping on. Excellent. Thanks, Amy. Feel free to ask any questions. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a good point. This is a type of radio frequency where we need a grounding pad between you and the device. Okay, so we're essentially using you like an electrical circuit. And we're just going to take this off right now. This is probably the funniest part of the whole treatment, or the coldest part of the whole treatment, the application of the return pad. Right, Zan? Cold.
Well, it wasn't cold. He said, "Oh, it's going to be cold." It wasn't actually that cold.
Thank you, Amy. Your stuff. Thanks so much. Everybody, Amy. One of the first few people in Beaconsfield and Buckinghamshire to have EMFACE. Right. Next up, we have Zan. Okay, you're probably looking at Zan going, she doesn't need any more cheekbone elevation, right? Everyone's going, Zan does not need any more cheekbones. But Zan wants to continue to look like this forever.
But it's this, because I was just talking about the fact that I feel I'm developing technique, because I'm a content creator, so I'm always on my phone, and you hold your phone at a position which is really not good for the muscles.
Just a squeeze.
So I want to get that back up there. And
Keep
also
it back
do
up there.
something that I
You
can
have to
do
do
in the
it?
morning.
Go for it, and then I can
continue
chat.
in the afternoon, because there's no downtime.
Wonderful. So what we're going to do with Zan is, she's the perfect candidate for someone like this. I will always talk to patients about topical skincare because we want to have the best skin health possible. You've got the benefit of having radio frequency coming through your skin. So you want to optimize and maximize on that benefit. So having great skincare, having vitamin C on your skin, find it is. Next layer down, here we have Natalie Clark, everybody. So she is our trainer. She's trained me on all of the technologies. She's trained Cheryl Marshall-Williams as well. So this is really key. What Natalie's doing is showing you where the application is. So you don't just kind of put it anywhere. You want to target this frontalis muscle. Guys, do you want to come and have a look? And the beauty about this is there's no muscle contraction in the middle. There's just radio frequency to tighten the skin. Because the way that the muscle is shaped in the forehead muscle is, it kind of branches out like that. So the device is made beautifully. Next, you have these cheek applicators, and you can see it just goes to the lip corner, and then it kind of fans out with a centimeter above the jawline, because you don't really want to drag the jawline down. So in answer to your question again. And then we take it out and up to, you see this wiggly bit by the ear that we all have? That's called the tragus. So we take it up to about there, because that's where that Wallace and Gromit muscle is. And we just about catch those two cheek elevators with you. So for someone like Zan, who's not ready for facial injectables, I believe, and who wants something really non-invasive that she can integrate with her home life. She's a busy person. She's got to go live every single day. She's got kids at home. She's got family. She's got a social life. She just wants to have something quick, fast, be able to jump out and know with confidence that she should look the same, if not better, this time next year. Right, Natalie, take over with the device. So what we're doing is programming our device now. We're able to track our patients, who's coming in. We start off with some radio frequency. So we're warming up the skin. It's almost like doing a run around the block. So it increases the temperature. So the 100% is the radio frequency. We want the patient to receive the best, the most efficacious, because we also want skin tightening. It takes a few minutes for that radio frequency to literally go through the skin, go through the fat, and get to that muscle. Temperature increase, about 42 degrees. It feels lovely. It's like getting into a beautiful hot bath. Very, very manageable. The contractions, she's already seeing at 28%. So I feel that we're going to be seeing some nice elevation with Zan very soon. Now you're probably wondering, what if I can't handle it? That's another question. You will, and I know you will, because the device gives you the opportunity to actually play around with the forehead and the cheek settings. So we can actually elevate one, drop the other one if someone's not feeling 100%, and then slowly build you up incrementally as we go. How are you feeling, Zan?
Amazing.
Thoughts?
I can understand that rippling, that it's a very gentle rippling feeling, and I can feel the warmth, and it's quite soothing actually. Not at all unpleasant or anything like that.
Everyone see her forehead going up? Yeah. Got a good forehead contraction there, so your cheeks are coming up beautifully, and she's only at 50%.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Looking good over there. Nice. And Natalie's nicely tucked it underneath the cheekbone, so you can see it's a really nice scoop of that muscle up and out. Wonderful. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Is there an age at which this is
I think it. No, not at all. Not at all. As I said, if I have a patient who is fit, well, healthy, it doesn't actually matter about the age because you're fit, well, healthy. And that's the most important. If you're hydrated, no alcohol much, no cigarette smoking, that sort of thing, then you're good to go. Yeah.
It's like getting a real like a sugar. And then
Can you see from there? You're okay, yeah? Great. Anyone else have any questions at all? Can you all see from there? Yeah.
Having the same size, so if you have a large face or a small face, does the same pads fit?
That's a great question.
Because I can see that with the same positioning it above the jawline, but I've got quite a small face, so what would you do in that case? Would you have to sort of position it slightly higher than you have on the lady there?
That's a great question. So the question is, are all the paddles the same size? Are all the applicators the same size? They currently are, Julie. And in answer to your question, you and I have a fairly similar type facial shape. So all we would do is stretch the skin. I think that's the most important thing. We need to stretch the skin, make sure that it's at the corner of the mouth, aim for the little wiggly tragus, and it actually sits perfectly on the direction of which muscle we're going to treat. So I've actually treated my face, which is very similar to yours, and you will get that same contraction. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. I believe there may be some evolution with this one day, but I feel that we're still very, very early on. What we see now is already a fantastic technology that's launched to the profession as well as the patients. So, yeah.
Absolutely. At BTL, we always kind of look to grow and innovate, but this is still this is exceptional.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. So Zan, I'm going to sit you forwards.
You're getting an amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Zan is smiling a lot, so they're popping off her, struggling to keep them on you, Zan. You can't help but smile with this treatment. It's very hard, actually. Mine kept popping off as well the other day. Lovely. So we remove all of your makeup. We remove all of your skincare. So for these type of treatments, we say come au natural. Come with nothing on. Wash your skin. Come out. We will always cleanse your skin with the Clinicep solution anyway, just to remove any oil, any SPF that you might have on. And then we'll pop a hairband on, take your photography, and then apply. So you're literally seeing the whole patient pathway now. Treatment time is 20 minutes, so it's fast. And I think this, again, is what makes this technology stand out, because you won't want to come in for 45 minutes of this. It would be quite a lot, whereas a 20-minute treatment makes it so easy to have. Yes.
It feels like I've got the giggles.
Mm.
That's what it feels like.
So Zan, you're at 90%. I think Natalie Clark is about to take it up a little bit more.
Let's try it and then I can put it down.
Let's try it, yes. Just so that you can feel what 100 feels like. And wow, well done.
Well, it's got you smiling.
Yeah.
Wow. That's the best workout for the face I've seen in a long time. Yes.
Exactly what it feels like. I just feel you're pulling faces.
She's not. That's what it will look like and feel like when you have it done.
Is there a reason
Well done.
that the last lady's face wasn't contracting anywhere near as much? Or is it just
This,
on the muscle?
yeah, this is what I mean. Every face is very different. Every resting muscle tone is also very different. So whenever I've treated M-Sculpt patients, not everybody is going to contract the same way. Some patients actually don't contract very much at all. So you've got to ask yourself, has there been much tone in that muscle to begin with? Has there been much use? I wonder if Zan walks around smiling and laughing all the time. I don't know, but I think she's probably got a stronger resting tone already. And that's why when you apply this treatment, bang, it just takes it to another whole level. So that's the main thing, I think. Anything else you could say with that, Gabriele?
I think everybody's muscle responds differently. Some muscle could be more engaged than others. I mean, it can be, as strange as it might seem, that you could even have one part of somebody's face engaging or moving more than the other. And especially when you first put the treatment on, because this is something brand new to that muscle. So the thing is, everybody's genetically different, and everybody's muscles engage at a different point. Obviously, if you're using that muscle a lot just day by day, then it's going to react much quicker. If it's not used as much, it might take a little bit longer to engage. But the key thing is, over the time that you have the course, you'll get the same level of benefit to yourself personally, if that makes sense. So you'll still get the same level of improvement that the other person would have to your own kind of, self. And that's, the same with any kind of non-surgical treatment. The benefit is always there, but different, with everybody, and especially with the contraction, because of all the reasons.
Zan, you okay?
Yeah.
She's okay.
Zan's used to smiling.
Yes. Managing?
Definitely.
Definitely.
I can actually feel it's sweaty.
Yes, she's sweating.
No
Yes.
lot of heat, yeah.
Great. So my team have just put the AC on. You'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. So when we think of, let's just take it into analogy of bodybuilding, okay? Bodybuilding, muscle toning, whatever you look at it. What do we need to do to grow muscle? It takes a lot of work. So whenever women say, I don't want to lift the next kilo up because I don't want to look too bulky, it's so hard to get there. You have to do resistance training. You have to build on the resistance training. So you can never just carry the same weight. You do need to increase. But more importantly, you need to put that muscle under tension for a long period of time as well. So we call it time under tension. So resistance training under tension, but for a prolonged period of time as well. So that's really important, because otherwise you can't actually develop new fibers. And then also you've got to feed it. So the nutrition is key with food, with supplementation, with oxygen, with blood supply. So yoga, facial workout, following on from this is really, really key as well. I think when you pull faces, when you actually use it, you're enabling that muscle to grow. And then finally, you also think about that maintenance therapy. So that's why I see that 6-month maintenance coming in really, really beautifully here. You're going to say something about resistance training.
And one thing actually led on from there is, because it's not about, contraction or how many contractions or anything.
Nice.
It's about the quality of contraction.
Very nice.
And that's what we're delivering here. Optimal
You know, if
contractions of
somebody
the
feels
face,
your face,
improving the density and quality of the muscle. And
yeah, go have a feel.
like Sharina was saying, it is
feels
all about
really-
maintenance.
she's so
actually,
strong.
the maintenance packages that Sharina's put together there for you are perfect, because once you've improved, the quality of your skin, and you improve the muscle density, and you've given your face new health, that's all about the components that aid your face to maintain that and continue to improve, as you would with muscle. If you exercise in the gym, proteins, water, all of that helps you keep a healthy body. Equally with the face, if you've improved the health of your face and your facial muscles and your skin quality with the EMFACE, after that, it's all about maintenance, which comes down to everything as well that Sharina's put in those packages for you today. So I think it's kind of like the perfect way to maintain it, and obviously your own face journey. And I think that's kind of what I wanted to say. But more than anything, it's also about it's the quality of muscle contraction that we're delivering here as well. It's not just when you mentioned about other devices that may do other things. Every device has its place, but with this, you're guaranteed the best quality contraction and strengthening of that muscle. And it's the density of the muscle you're improving as well, and the quality of it. You're not just looking to contract it.
Absolutely. So going back to the exercise analogy, Who of you feels the same as you did 10 or 15 years ago? No one. Exactly. None of us do. I don't even feel the same. Amy's going down. I don't even feel the same as I did 8 years ago, 8 years ago. What I do know is that I feel I've got more energy now than ever before, but my body feels different, because we're losing a percentage of that muscle bulk. It's just different. So that's why we always have to start strength training at any stage of our life, even if we started in our 55s or 60s, as long as there's resistance training, or 70s even. I see patients who start now and they do really, really well with our treatments. Our oldest patient to have Emsculpt Neo that I present at your presentation, she's 70 years old or 72, and she's got the best treatment results that we've had in the history of this clinic, because she just looked after herself for a little while. She went back to the gym, she put in her resistance training, she slept well, she ate well, and boom, 90 days later, the most exquisite result. Who here does planks? Oh, quite a few plankers here. Okay, so we know what a plank is, resistance training again. When you do a plank, do you challenge yourself an extra 10 seconds, 10 seconds more, a little bit, 30 seconds, whichever. So you're constantly training that muscle to resistance in time, under tension, for increased periods of time. That's what our trainers have always taught us, because that's the only way to really get increased contraction, develop more muscle fibers, muscle tension, and to get a better quality result. So same again like this, if you saw the percentages from 0 to 100, is the amount of energy and time under tension that we're giving these facial elevator muscles during that 20-minute course of the treatment.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%.
Has everyone got these at all? You've got these.
All I can say is,
Has everyone got these?
I love what Sharina said there about,
Sorry, thank you. Do you like one?
The thing is, no matter what stage you are in your life, having these treatments and doing things
You
that
got
are
one?
going to improve your health and well-being and the core, your muscles and all of that. Every time you have a treatment done, you do something like that, you're actually, let's say, you're adding to your
How do you feel? Yeah?
You're doing something to add to your health tomorrow, and you're never too late to start that process. Because every time you do something, you're going to improve, and that's the same when you exercise, when you exercise your face. Are you having a good time?
It's totally relaxed. Actually, quite enjoyable.
5 minutes left.
You could almost sleep on having a time, couldn't you, having a rest? When you all first heard about this treatment, did you think it would be like this? How did you guys sort of picture it? Yeah?
I didn't realise it would be so thin. It is amazing. They can get it hardly any thicker than a piece of paper.
Because what we're doing is we're obviously we're working the elevator muscles and an RF at the same time, but we're just trying to hit the perfect points to get that lift and to get that rejuvenation and that improvement of muscle that we're looking for. So we're not looking to do everything, we're looking to just get the right points
So
to
you
give you
don't
the
need
results.
the bulky applicator or the chair?
No, but with that, I mean, obviously, with those, we're targeting skeletal muscle. So that's obviously a muscle in your body, so it's different. With facial muscles, they're a lot smaller, they're a lot more superficial. So the way that we're, transmitting that energy is different. And this is the perfect way to get the results that we're trying to induce on the face. It makes the treatment all more comfortable for it. Because you haven't got any bulky applicator, you can literally rest on it, smile, and enjoy it. Always.
The beauty about radio frequency and high intensity focused electrical stimulation is it's also safe for all skin types. It's also what we call colorblind. So
have collagen and a good contraction, your skin feels like it's not connected to your bones.
Yeah.
And so it feels a bit hollow. But when you do radio frequency and now with the EMFACE, it feels strong and it feels like, oh, this feels good today.
Connected.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting, Cheryl's word is connected. When she finished with me, that sounds sad. But when Cheryl finished my treatment the other day, I felt more attached. I felt that my skin was more attached to my face. So every layer, we talk about those 5 layers of aging. Your skin, your superficial fat, your muscle, your deep fat, your bone, they're all connected with these little intersections of fibers and claws that hold things up and out. And you feel when you stimulate one deep, it actually anchors and pulls everything back up and out again. So that's why Amy looks like she's still smiling. Yes, Janina, yes.
I have a question. Me, with my extensive medical history, I always ask the same thing for everything. Are there any side effects, or is there any type of people or anyone with this type of condition who can't do it?
Who cannot do it? Okay. So the question was, is there any contraindications to having the treatment? Is there anyone that couldn't or shouldn't have it? So my first thing would be, common questions would be pregnancy. So we wouldn't treat anyone who's actively trying to get like IVF, etc. We wouldn't treat anyone who's actively pregnant at the time. So we would wait until, and we would also not treat anyone who's breastfeeding as well. So we'd finish all of those time frames correctly. I also wouldn't treat anyone with cardiac arrhythmias who's paced as well, because there's obviously an electrical pacemaker within the heart. We're running an electrical current through our patients, so we've got to make sure that they are primarily safe from a medical point of view as well. And then Gabriele, anything more to share as well?
I mean, to be fair, I think you covered everything. Other things that I would say is metal implants in the face with this would be a contraindication. Not fillings as such, we can cover those. If you get like a metal implant, that would be a contra.
Yeah.
Natalie, from a clinical point of view,
medical, any pacemakers which you mentioned.
Yes.
Any autoimmune skin related. Yeah.
Yes. So the next thing to then thinking about is, what about the patient who's, hold on. So generally, I'm going to come back to that one, but just so you know, we stopped at 90%. Zan didn't think she could make it, but man, she was absolutely fine. So we call it talk anesthesia. Chat away, and she'll get distracted. No problem. Well done. So in answer to your question, Janina, then we think about someone who's going through something in their life. So we have patients who are undergoing chemotherapy, radiotherapy, those sort of treatments as well. And we've got to make sure that I probably wouldn't treat anyone who's undergoing active therapy. I would wait until they're on the other side. Then once they've finished their therapy, I would give them a certain period of time so they can start looking after themselves again, from hydration to, just getting toned up again, and then we'd have a conversation and treat them. Is that what you meant? Like those sort of therapies? Okay. And then we also think of treatments like if you're having treatments for gastro issues, where you might be having medications to suppress your immune system, I would probably get somebody until they're in a stable platform. So I have a number of patients who've got active colitis, for example, Crohn's colitis, ulcerative colitis, and they're on immunosuppressants and they're going through a hard time with steroids. I'd probably wait for them to finish off that period of active illness and wait for them to go into remission before I treated somebody, so that they get the best bang for their buck in having the treatment. There's lots of other things that we do here to look after our patients. Part of the other treatments from here includes something called lymphostim, that is lymphatic drainage. And that just gets the patient really wholly well and improves their well-being before they come into any of our other treatments.
What I can say is, once you've had that, you cannot go back.
Incredible. Wow. Gosh. You feel amazing. Look at the cheeks.
Do you know what it feels like? Is that if you've been with your girlfriends, you've had a really brilliant time and you've been giggling all the time, and you get that face ache the next day. That's sort of what it feels. It's not an ache, but it's just that it's knowing that you've had a really, really good, yes.
You've had a good time.
Absolutely. Oh my God. They're sitting up above my eyebrows now. That's amazing. And they feel hard. It really lifted.
Yeah. So nice and firm, isn't it?
Yeah.
And don't smile, son. Just still up. Nice.
Love it. Absolutely.
Yes. What teeth implants do you have?
Thank you.
You're going to have them though. Actually, you haven't had them yet. So maybe then, if we do the course sort of sooner, then that way, before you have the implant, that would be easier.
It will be far off then, and everything would have settled
So probably what I recommend then, is to do the course sort of ASAP, and then after that, then when you come back for your maintenance,
we're going to get some more patients. Stay tuned.
Okay. You'll be fine, yeah. Are you thinking of having this quite soon? Okay.
sensation a little bit more when you've got, is it a phone you're going to have?
No, into
Metal rods coming through.
So you'll feel it slightly, you may take some mechanical testing on that, but it's not you're fine. And if you do find it, small things, you can just put some gauze in there, and just find it. But it's not, it won't damage the teeth.